This lifestyle project was my attempt to make substantial differences to my daily life by making small, meaningful changes to be more sustainable. I decided to focus on 3 main areas for this project, for 2 days each out of the week that I felt would have the biggest impact for me, which were heating, water, and electricity. Heating is one of the biggest uses of electricity in America, and that is no different from my household. According to Energy.gov, every degree that you lower your thermostat saves an average of 3% of energy off your monthly usage. Since I lowered my thermostat by 2 degrees, that's an average of 6% savings a month, and my average monthly kilowatt hour use is about 650, and that's about 40 kilowatt hours saved, which translates to about 2 gallons of oil saved. The only problem I ran into when trying to do this change was convincing my other roommates not to turn up the heater past the agreed upon point, and while they were reluctant at first, they did agree after some persuasion. One of the other topics I focused on, water, was somewhat more difficult. Although I was mostly successful, it was definitely uncomfortable. My first way of reducing water was by using a filled-up sink with soap to wash dishes rather than using running water. While I did save a lot of water by doing this, my sink dispenses about 3 gallons of water a minute, and I wash dishes for about 7 minutes a day, but my sink only holds about 5 gallons when filled. So by filling it rather than using running water, I saved about 32 gallons of water in 2 days. And then my next way of reducing water usage was by cutting my shower time in half, from 20 minutes to 10 minutes. Since my shower head uses about 8 gallons a minute, that means I used about 160 gallons of water before this project, but only 80 gallons of water after I made the changes. This was a difficult change for me personally in both areas. When considering the dishes, I had a lot of trouble feeling confident that they were really clean since the water got dirty really quickly when the dishes just soaked. So I don't know if I'd continue with that change. When it comes to showering, I did try, but I had troubles doing everything I needed to do in half the time that I normally use. I would find myself at the 9-minute mark frantically trying to rush to finish washing off and doing everything I needed to do in time. My next area of change was electricity use. I made these changes to both my morning routine and habits during the day. In my morning routine, I decided I wasn't going to use a blow dryer, my flat iron, and I was going to remove half of the bathroom lights. This resulted in a total savings of 1.2 kilowatts an hour. As for my routine during the day, I removed half of the light bulbs from my room, I cut TV use from 4 hours to 2, and I made food with a microwave rather than a complicated dinner in the oven or the stove. In total, this saved about 3.3 kilowatts an hour. I had difficulties when it comes to electricity, mostly due to hair problems, just since it was uncomfortable not being able to dry my hair right away, since that's something I normally do, and I wasn't able to straighten it. Also, I had a little bit of vision problems when doing things like homework, since I was only able to use window light for most of the day. And along with some boredom, since I only watch TV for about half the time that I normally do. Overall, the biggest lessons that I learned are that saving is hard, but it's often worthwhile. It sucked taking shorter showers and not using my appliances, but the water, energy, and money saved made it seem worthwhile.